Hello again. It's us again, Meme and Lego, and welcome to today's video. And today we're going to be talking about a concerning topic, to say the least. Will AI replace us?
Yes, it will.
Hopefully. Let's hope we just get enslaved. I like that option a lot more than, total human destruction.
Fair. That's fair.
Just kidding though. Where do we start with this? Because it's definitely a broad topic.
It is.
And it isn't a new topic.
It isn't.
Hannah Arendt has been talking about it since the 50s, for example.
Yep, that's true.
But let's see how the fires of that discussion have rekindled recently. Recently, with the advent of ChatGPT and similar AI programs.
The whole video is not sponsored by ChatGPT. We did not make our opinions through ChatGPT.
Yeah. However, it would be nice if it did sponsor us, because we need the money. Okay, back to roasting ChatGPT. Now, with the advent of ChatGPT and a lot of AI art programs and whatnot, a lot of people have become concerned like, oh, am I gonna get replaced? Am I gonna get replaced? Yes, you will, eventually. We're all gonna be replaced. And people have a whole crisis about this, like, oh my god, the AI will replace us, the machines will take over, this is the worst thing that happened for humanity. No, it's the best thing that can happen to humanity. The worst thing that happened to humanity right now is we don't become aware socially about what is going on. And this is what is going on. Our perception of technology has been totally fucked. Technology doesn't serve us anymore. We serve technology. And this is what I mean by this. In ye olde times, ye olde days, back when we were still ooga booga, whenever something was invented, be it the wheelbarrow, be it fire, be it agriculture, people shared that knowledge among each other to make life easier. Mm-hmm. People didn't hoard technology. And that was the case until, let's say, like the Age of Enlightenment, I think. Because it's around the Age of Enlightenment when legality started becoming a big part, in Europe at least. It was prevalent in China as well, but not in the same way that it was prevalent in Europe. Because in Europe, with the advent of law, legality, whatnot, patents also made their appearance. And when patents started making an appearance, and laws of property started making a more prominent appearance, that's when we started becoming subservient to technology more and more, until we eventually reached the state that we're in today, where nowadays, whenever a new technology is invented, a new creation, the first thing that happens, patent it.
True.
So we can make money out of it.
True.
This is a problem.
It is.
Because technology before was common, and the main goal of technology was to spread it as far as possible.
To improve the society.
To make life easier.
Hmm?
But here's the difference. Technology in the past could only alleviate some of the struggles that we had. It couldn't completely eliminate them. Technology nowadays can do just that. But we don't have the right social conditions to do just that. Yeah. To spread technology like that. That's what I mean when I say AI machines replacing us isn't a bad thing.
It is.
If the right social conditions are met. If we are ready as a society to accept that, okay, if the meaningless work and a lot of labor can be replaced by automatons, what do we do now? Because this is an existential problem. This is what Hannah Arendt basically spoke about. What do we do now as a species if all our basic labor becomes contracted out to automatons or machines and whatnot? Because your whole existence up until that point has been labor. It's your existence to some, in a certain way, I'd say, has been defined by labor. So now when you remove that from the equation, you have an existential problem. But before we get to the existential problem, we have to fix the social and economic problem. Technology replacing us won't be a bad thing. It would be, however, a bad thing if it replaced us with the current social understandings and current laws. And that's the problem. If in our current society, we get, most of our jobs get replaced, factory workers, riders, like, if machines and AI replace us, factory workers will basically be cut, artists will be cut, writers will be cut, lawyers might be cut.
True. Our profession might be cut.
Yeah, certain medical practitioners might be cut, and professions just keep going more and more and more and more and more. Effectively, you have millions upon millions of people out of a job.
That is true.
This is the perfect condition for a revolution. Just saying.
For legal reasons, we are not condoning it.
Yes.
For legal reasons, right?
Yeah. However, it is becoming rapidly apparent that that is the, likely conclusion that we're heading towards. But what do you think?
Personally, I love that you mentioned ChatGPT and then went historically. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to start historically and then I'm going to come to ChatGPT. People are afraid of machines taking over their jobs. Sure. But like you said, that's not a problem of today. That's been going on for centuries. Both you and I are in the fields of philosophy. In the good old days, not really good, but there were people who had to write, who had to copy the writings just so they can spread a book. You had you had every single monastery had monks who were copywriting the same book. Then, in the good old days, some smart man decided, hey, we can print this. That is how machines took over one job. Then, we had the steam engine, which allowed us to have transportation, where you don't had to race horses, you don't had to. And this has been a practice. I do not agree that this is okay, but in some countries you had people who were basically your horses to transport you.
Yep.
And that is another case of how technology changed the perspective. Today, like you said, we have ChatGPT, which I'm pretty sure most of us have heard about it, and most of those people who have heard about it have used it. We can see that ChatGPT, even though not perfect as of right now, is still able to do the mundane tasks for a job. It's still able to do simple tasks. It is still able to give out complex ideas without knowing how to formulate them properly. A few days ago, I've watched a YouTube video. It was 20 professions against AI. I think that's the name. Don't quote me on that. If you Google it, you're gonna find it's the first video. Every single one of them said that no, AI can't replace me, I'm irreplaceable. But when the graphic designer wrote in can you make a logo for McDonald's going vegan? It made a great logo. The language it was gibberish, but give it a week. It's gonna improve.
Yep.
The copywriter was like, oh, no way that they can replace us. But most of modern copywriters use ChatGPT.
Yep.
If you go on Upwork, if you go on Fiverr, most people who are looking for writers, they encourage people to use ChatGPT. Change 10% of it and you're fine, which I don't agree with, but it's starting to be more popular.
Yeah, more prominent.
The only profession that I believe, as of right now, that ChatGPT cannot change will be surgeons. Not ChatGPT, sorry, AI.
Yeah.
In the future, it most definitely will. And not only that it will be much more successful than human surgeons. Because it's a robot, it can't make a mistake once it's fully developed.
Yeah.
Michael Reeves, I think, is the guy on YouTube, right?
Okay, yeah.
I think it was him who made a surgical operational robot to cut off the skin of a grape. That on its own is mind-boggling. Not because it's scary, oh, AI can replace us, but with having AI being able to do complex, to solve complex problems, you're making your life easier, my life easier, and you're making the society be that much better to live in. Would you go to a surgeon that has a 95% rate of performing a successful surgery? Or would you go to the AI who can perform it for 100% successful rate? Where would you go?
Personally, I go to the AI, but I can see how some people would choose a human based on prejudices
Yes.
and preferences.
Yes.
So
The problem is, if you actually try to develop the AI, because let's be honest, even though it's artificial intelligence, it is still fed information through people. If you're able to condition the AI into knowing what it can and what it shouldn't do, it will never do the bad thing.
Yeah.
Because unlike people,
yeah.
technology cannot be greedy on its own. AI cannot be greedy on its own. Someone needs to introduce the feeling, the emotion, which as of right now, and I hope in the future, they won't be able to.
Yeah.
AI and technology is not capable of emotion. That's why I think in the future we're safe from the whole dystopia. Yeah,
Skynet
dystopia.
looking us into oblivion.
It is a problem that a lot of jobs will be lost to AI. It will literally be, they took our job. But that doesn't mean that new jobs, new opportunities won't arrive. Because before I mentioned the steam engine, a lot of people had the job of raising horses for transportation. Then they lost that job. But the job of maintaining the engines, the job of producing the engines, of working the engines, came to be. So it's not that we're losing the jobs and we're gonna be jobless. We're losing one form of the job and we're replacing it with another. But that's just my opinion.
One thing I wanted to add also, it'll tie into what I said earlier about how for certain people, their labor is a majority of their existence, is a big part of their existence, particularly. That's why a lot of people have a fear of redundancy.
Yeah.
Will their profession become redundant to machines or AI? Because their existence is directly tied to what they do. I think people have lost their sense of industriousness. To make it more brutal, I'm gonna say it like this. People need to get a life. Because when you have a life, you always have something to do. People who only go to their job, go home, go to their job, go home, of course, they're gonna be scared that AI will replace them. Because it'll effectively replace the meaning of their existence. That's why it ties in to what I said earlier. If your society is prepared for such a change, it'll come more easily.
Yeah.
Nowadays, our society isn't prepared because there's so many people, like I just described, who tie their existence to their profession. They've lost their sense of industriousness. They don't have a life, so they don't know what they do without their jobs. Society has to change that before we can even begin to discuss how we can effectively and optimally implement our collective redundancies, I guess.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And it's not just that it's the people who live a redundant life that fear technology. It's people who do not understand technology, fear technology. Because we are, as human beings, we are afraid of the things we don't know. But I guess time will tell if we're right or if we're wrong.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, AI, if you're seeing this video, please be gentle on us because we're support. Yeah,
we're on your team.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. But let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.